Today we are finally getting round to deep cleaning this bedroom, and well, this speaks for itself, doesn't it? It had been left way too long and there was so much that needed to be done. I'm also going to take you along as we get the final bits and bobs ready for our new baby's arrival. And if you've been keeping up with my deep cleaning series this entire pregnancy, you'll also be relieved to see that I actually managed to repaint. I'd been worrying about running out of time, but we did it. So just the same as with the kitchen, stick around to see the whole bedroom transformation. And there might just be a little added bonus right at the very end of the video. So this is probably going to be one of the most unaesthetically pleasing, chaotic bunch of nesting and cleaning videos you've ever seen. Task 1 was washing all of the new baby clothes. Mushroom's trying to run away with everything, I haven't put the food shop away, and I have my little shadow here following me everywhere I go. But I've just got such an urge to wash all of these clothes immediately because I'm not going to lie, I am panicking now. I've got a growth scan tomorrow and depending on how that goes, I might have to stay at the hospital for a few weeks. This is me realising that most of the clothes I've got are first size, and this baby was already weighing over £5 a month ago. Bear in mind, I'm 36 weeks here, so there's a lot more growing that can happen, but I'm just holding on to the fact that the scans aren't always accurate. I've got mostly neutral colours here because we don't know whether we're having a boy or a girl, but I am going to take one blue vest and one pink to the hospital with me so we can announce it to our loved ones that way. I do realise I've got a lot of baby grows here, but babies are messy. Got some gentle on the skin laundry detergent and fabric softener. And here's me pulling out some bits from Asda that I didn't even remember I'd got. This is one of my big hurdles in life. If I put things into bags, I'll forget I have them, but if they're all over the house, I'll get stressed because everything's everywhere. Anyway, I thought in this video I'd show you a few slowed down real life clips of our day. This is taking forever. I've bought way too much stuff.
Let's do this.
What are these? Oh, these are Rudy's vests. Right, that's not even the baby stuff. Oh, these ones haven't got any feet. Do you know what I don't have, Ike?
What?
I don't have any socks for the baby. I'm gonna have cold feet. 3 pregnancies in and I still can't conceptualise that there's a whole human just growing in my tummy. It never really sinks in for me until they're actually in my arms. I'm just so excited to meet them now. So I'm just separating everything I've got into wash piles. Pretty sure these all could have been washed together, honestly, but I don't want them to fade before baby's even worn them. As usual, I posted this in shorter form for my other platforms, and people were split pretty much 50-50 on whether you should wash the outfits before they're worn. I think the logic was because they're in packets, they don't really need to be washed. But I work in retail, and so it's an absolute must for me. It's not about germs so much as it is the chemicals used during processing and the dust and residue in the warehouses they're stored in. I just think it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to our tiny ones. That is your name.
Does that mean this is mine?
Yeah, you did that.
Oh. Can you read this book with me again?
I can't read it just yet. I'll read it with you really soon though.
Okay.
Why don't you have a look through it while I just sort all this pile?
Okay.
Okay. Right. You pop it there for me. Okay, right. Ignore me then.
This one is there.
I know, but I'm just about to wash these.
We haven't done this, Mummy.
Have we not?
Box for the air into the pipe.
Yeah, it's telling you all about how fire extinguishers work.
I love this page.
Do you? I don't often show you the behind the scenes. Everything's always sped up and it's always me yapping. But I thought it would be nice to include a bit of reality. A few days later and it was time to make a start on this room. Now, as you can see, on the surface, it doesn't look too bad. Just a bit cluttered on the sides, as to be expected in a lived-in home. But what I really wanted to get into and sort was what was behind and underneath the furniture. This is not a job we're able to get round to often, so I was expecting it to be pretty bad. As I always say, my room is the most neglected of all the rooms in the house, because it's mine basically. I always try to prioritise keeping on top of the rooms that everyone uses, and I get round to mine as and when I find the time. But I want a clean slate for 2026, and this was the last room on my list to tackle. So my plan was to pull everything out and deep clean, get rid of any dust, and then after all of that was done, repaint, redecorate and get the room ready for baby. And I really hope you stick around for the final result because I am just so happy with how it turned out. Same as with the kitchen. I don't know what I was expecting in the short space of time we had, but both rooms have exceeded my expectations. As most of you know, this pregnancy has been far from easy. After being bedbound with hyperemesis for pretty much the first half, we've been playing catch up with the house ever since, trying to get it in tip-top shape for baby's arrival. And I have a whole deep cleaning / pregnancy playlist where we've made our way through the entire house, and I kind of go into everything throughout that series. So if this is your first time visiting the channel, those videos will explain everything, and they're great motivation for tackling those big deep cleaning projects. But yeah, I've been trying to deep clean and fix every room in the house for almost 6 months now, and there were so many points I thought, yeah, we're not going to manage this. And although we're cutting it so close now, we did it. We've deep cleaned the whole house, repainted 3 rooms, and I couldn't be prouder of myself or more grateful to everybody who helped. So yeah, this is what we're dealing with at the side of the bed. I don't want to make any excuses because it's grim. We know we shouldn't eat up here, but the midnight snacks, they call to me. This is mostly from movie nights with the kids though, especially because I've been poorly. A lot of time has been spent snuggling up, watching movies, drawing and chatting while I've been laid in bed. And I will say this, because if anyone's seen the short form version of this video I posted on TikTok, the amount of hate I got was more than I think I've ever gotten on a video before. And I won't go into the comments because they were extremely upsetting, but people were acting like we could see this mess every day and we were just choosing to ignore and walk past it. This is stuff we couldn't see. The bed is pressed right up against the wall, and we weren't eating and then stuffing the empty packets down the side on purpose. What actually happened was me and the kids would have our movie nights. The kids would put their packets on the windowsill when they'd finished. The next morning I'd get up, start trying to get on with the breakfast and the school run or jobs around the house, completely forgot they were even there, and they'd fall down the side, never to be seen or remembered again. Again, not saying it's acceptable, but that's how it built up. And when you're pretty much in survival mode, these kind of things are the last things on your mind. To be fair, even when I'm not ill, I am a very out of sight, out of mind person. So if I can't see something, it doesn't register in my brain very often. I'm more of a clean and tidy the parts of the house that are visible every day, rather than a pull everything out and clean behind it person. I wish I wasn't like this sometimes, but it's just how my brain works. Do I want to change this? Am I working to change this? Absolutely. But change doesn't happen overnight, and I'm hoping now that we've redecorated and everything looks so much better, and again, I can't wait for you to see the final result, but I'm hoping this will make me more determined to not let things build up, even the things I can't see. I think that visual cue of a lovely, newly decorated room will be just the ticket. And especially now this pregnancy is almost over and I know I'm going to feel well again, I want to be up and about and have the most productive 2026. Spending time in nature, with loved ones, making loads of motivational videos for you guys. I never want to take my health and mobility for granted ever again. Anyway, gave this wall a good scrub because my 4-year-old had wiped something all over here. No idea what it was, but the walls were being painted soon anyway, so I cleaned it and then went over it again later with some sugar soap. For people who don't know what sugar soap is, it's kind of like a solution that you put on the walls before you paint. It's a bit gritty. It just makes sure that the surface is smooth before you paint on it. Onto the windowsills. These were also sanded and repainted, but I didn't end up filming that because I was at Rudy's school watching him get an award, and my stepdad stayed and got all of that done, bless him. I've gone with a really warm kind of clay colour for the walls. Again, I'll show you later. Then I cleaned these bits with a sonic scrubber. I've only just found out what they're actually called. I used to call them the electric toothbrush cleany thing, but they work really well for these kind of jobs. Because we live next to a busy road and right next to a bus stop, there's always so much traffic, and this dust and grime builds up so fast. We always have the windows open, no matter the weather, because we just can't sleep without the breeze. And it definitely takes its toll on the condition of the blinds as well. And it's not like dust you can wipe away, because I actually have this blind cleaning gadget where it's meant to wipe away all of the dust in one swipe. This is sticky dust, and you have to clean it with a degreaser. You'll have watched me do this and clean the blinds several times over the years on this channel, but according to viewers on TikTok, I haven't actually cleaned the blinds or this room in years, and I can't blame the bus stop. And also, even though I state very clearly in the video that I know it would be easier to take the blinds down and clean them in the bath, but that I can't detach them and they're secured to the wall, actually all I do need to do is take them down and clean them in the bath. I'll say it again, these blinds are secured to the wall. You can't take them down, and so this is a ridiculously time-consuming process. I'm talking this took hours and hours to clean. And the slats are really flimsy, so they move about and bend as you're trying to clean. And what this all means is I really need to get some different kinds of blinds. But you can see how easy it all melts off once the degreaser's on there. I really don't clean these as often as I should, just because it is so time consuming. And I know breathing all of this in every day cannot be good for us in the long term, so I'm really hoping when we get our forever house, it's not going to be next to a main road like this, and we'll actually get some nice fresh air. Some people suggested buying an air purifier, so I've put that on my list. And for the time being, I've bought some air purifying plants, so hopefully they'll absorb some of that bad stuff. And that's the blinds looking brand new. 3 weeks to go, well, technically 2 for me, and it was time to pack the hospital bag. And this will be my first time using these little labelled bags. The last 2 times I just smushed everything in and hoped for the best. But this time I want to be more organised and prepared. Honestly, I have barely any recollection of whether it was easy or difficult to find anything last time because I was so knackered and just not on the planet. So I feel like this will really help. I'll be having my 3rd C-section, so this will help Charlie find everything as well because you need a lot of help, especially in those first few days. I found these bags on Amazon, by the way. I just typed in hospital bag organiser and I thought this will take loads of stress off me because I always worry about forgetting things. But it's weird because they actually sent loads of duplicates. There was like 2 bags for slippers, 2 bags for nightwear. And then there were some unlabelled ones, so I was like, right, I'll just lay everything out and fill what I have. And then anything missing and I can write my own label. So for toiletries, I packed 2 different roll-on deodorants. I do not like roll-ons. I feel like they make you feel really sweaty. But I don't want to take any sprays into a place with newborn babies. Then I packed a mini shower gel, moisturiser and face wash. And I also packed some mini travel toothbrush sets and a mini hairbrush. Then next I packed some maternity pads and these like disposable maternity pants. I've never used these before, but I'm a lot heavier this time round and I really don't want to wear anything that's going to press on my tummy or around my scar. I just want to be as comfortable as possible. I think the last 2 times I just took some of my big pants and maternity pads. But after 2 C-sections I have like a shelf where my scar is. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's where your tummy kind of dips in, and I just know my tummy will roll over the top of my pants and they'll lay directly on the scar, and it will just be so painful and could disrupt healing, so we're trying to avoid that. For this next bag, I'm not taking slippers, but I've got some flip-flops for walking around or if I want to have a shower, stuff like that. And then I've got some fluffy socks just because I want to feel cosy. Hospital wards are not the most comforting of places, so anything I can take that will bring a little bit of comfort. For nightwear, I'm going to take 2 different sets of PJs just because I don't know how long I'll have to stay in for. With Rudy, my eldest, I had an emergency C-section after being in labour for 2 days and we both ended up with an infection, so I had to stay in for 5 days in total. But with Ike, we were only in for 24 hours, so you never really know. But I'm taking 2 pairs just in case. If I do end up needing anything extra, Charlie can just bring it during visiting hours anyway. For baby's going home outfit, we don't actually have a specific or special going home outfit. They're just going to be wearing a baby grow. But we do have a cute little knitted cardigan to put over the top to keep them warm. And my mum got us this Born in 2026 blanket, so these can both go in there. Then I realised there wasn't a labelled bag for nappies or wipes, which is pretty essential. So I wrote my own label for that one and I packed some water wipes, some organic nappy ointment, and then I bought some first size nappies, not realising how absolutely tiny they are. Thank goodness my mum bought us some size 1 as well. So I've packed some of the smaller size just in case, but I highly doubt we'll be using them. They are just so tiny. I ended up going for my growth scan at the end of 36 weeks, and the baby's estimated to be about £7.9 already, so they've still got 2 more weeks to grow. And I know it's just an estimate and they can be way off, but I do make big babies. Neither of my boys were small, so I doubt this one will be either. Just look at the size difference, it's so cute. Some people have suggested taking the smaller nappies to the hospital anyway, and then they can be given away and used for some of the smaller babies, which I think is a great idea. Then for this next bag, I've packed some pads for my maternity bra, and I'm going to pack a few nursing bras. I just had this one washed at this point. These are actually really old. I got them when I had Ike, who's 4 now. And honestly, I still wear them sometimes just because they're so comfy. And I thought, what's the point in buying new ones when these work perfectly fine? And I also packed some nipple balm just in case, but I don't think I'm going to need it. Next up, sleep suits, and this is the most exciting part. So I've packed 3 baby grows, 2 hats, a little pair of socks, finally got round to buying some, and 3 vests. 1 vest is blue, 1 vest is pink, and it's all feeling so real now. Soon we're going to meet this little person. It's been so surreal not knowing this time round. With the boys, we found out at 16 weeks both times, and I'm genuinely shocked at myself for being able to wait the whole 9 months, but I just know it's going to be so special. Anyway, next I labelled one of the blank bags as dirty washing, and that way I can keep all of the used clothes and stuff separate from anything else. And I also decided to pack a colouring book and some felt tips, because there can be a lot of waiting around when you're going for a C-section. They get all of you in at the same time, and then they decide who goes in first based on priority or if there's any emergencies. And sometimes you can be waiting there all day. Some people even get sent home. But my surgery is expected to be a bit more complicated, so I can't imagine I'll be last this time. I have something called adhesions, which is like a build-up of scar tissue from the previous surgeries. So they want to be able to take their time and be careful getting baby out. Anyway, I've also packed an extra long charger and I'm taking a separate bag for snacks. Please let me know if there's anything I've missed, because guarantee I have. And yeah, we're all set. And now that all of that was sorted and out of my brain, it was time to start the painting. I promised myself I was going to move away from the millennial stereotypes of beiges and greys and add more colour into the house. Even though I found it so scary and I had no idea what I was doing and no concept of interior design, I was like, I'm going to take a risk and use a darker colour and we'll just see what happens. Worst comes to worst and we can always paint over it. I wanted something warm and cheerful but also relaxing for this room. Yes, I am using a tiny roller. So many people commented that in my kitchen video. My wrists hurt in this pregnancy and I can't cope using the bigger ones. So yes, it is more time consuming, but it's also more precise and it doesn't splash as much paint, okay? Thank you. While I was doing that, Charlie was shampooing the stairs because I want everything perfect for baby's arrival. And then the next day, my stepdad arrived to help us finish off the painting. And here he is removing loads of blue tack. I'd stuck some pictures above the bed for Halloween and the blue tack just stuck to the wall. But anyway, here's Charlie and my stepdad moving all of the heavy stuff, cleaning behind it and painting all of the high and difficult to reach bits. Here's me just sat on the bed observing because I'm tired and pregnant. That was until the bed got moved completely and they had a massive clean up under there. We really made sure this room was spotless. I don't want it to build up to this point again. Like I said, I want a clean slate throughout the house for 2026. And then once everything was painted, I got the carpet vac out. And I had been itching to deep clean these carpets, but I wanted to wait until all of the painting was finished. This whole process took about a week, and I'm actually shocked we managed to get it done in that amount of time. The last thing I wanted was a half-painted bedroom and a newborn. I think it would have infuriated me. This part of pregnancy is such a limbo because it's like, I could go into labour any day now. I hope I don't, obviously, because I'm having a C-section for safety reasons. But it's so reassuring to know everything's done now. Everything I wanted to get done, we managed to get done. If you've been watching this series from the start, you'll know just how touch and go it was at the start when I was having mostly bad days with the HG. So I'm absolutely thrilled. And I am ready now. Look at me, I'm so uncomfortable. Anyway, gave the mirror a good clean. It'll be full of handprints tomorrow, but still. I'm so excited to show you the before and afters of the room in a second. Make sure to stick around after that though, because I'm going to get the room ready for baby, put up the cot, stock all of their stuff, and I'm going to show you what it looks like all lit up when it's dark. And like I said right at the beginning, there is one extra added surprise right at the end. Here Charlie is attaching some lights to the back of the bed frame. One thing this paint shade has done is darken the room a lot, so we needed some more lights. Like I said, I'll show you what that all looks like at the end. I also got a new bed set and hated it instantly, so we changed it back. And then Charlie put our family collage back on the wall. And I had this little corkboard full of our happy family moments hidden in the cupboard. And I thought it's time to get this out where we can see it every day. I did have a space right in the middle where I'd put like daily affirmations to help set a tone for each day, like living gratitude and that kind of thing. But I wanted to use that space for baby's first ever photo. Anyway, here are our new plants, and I love the plant pots with the new wall colour too. I picked some darker, more contrasting colours for those. And I got 2 more plants for downstairs, but I don't know where they're going to go yet. Anyway, here are the before and afters. It honestly feels like a completely different room to me, and I'm so happy with it. And I'm glad I didn't let the fear of bold colours win. And I'm also glad I changed those bed sheets back because they look so much better than the yellow. But yeah, my vibe for 2026 is to be bolder, live even more authentically, and to set more boundaries. I love to set goals at the start of each new year, you probably know that by now. But starting the new year with a freshly painted house has definitely boosted my mood. And this whole process has shown me that I'm stronger and more capable than I thought. 1 week to go and it was time to finally build the crib and get those final touches done. And I know this is cutting it so fine, but aside from us just not being able to get it all done until now, something makes me feel really uneasy about putting the baby stuff up too early. Anyway, we had a really cute day. Both boys were at school/playgroup, and so we went to the garden centre to look at plant pots and had a breakfast in the cafe. And then we came back and built this in a storage rack for the back of the door. I say we, Charlie did, and I just made annoying, unhelpful comments in the corner. But we decided to switch that old flimsy storage rack out for a sturdier one. I really don't like the fabric ones. We got that one when Ike was a newborn, and they last a few weeks and then lose their structure and start folding over and things fall out, and it just doesn't look nice. Anyway, Charlie was doing the school run and I apparently couldn't wait 10 minutes for him to come home and move the crib for me. And it was a ridiculous spectacle because the stand had like extendable legs that kept popping out every time I tried to move it. Why have you just done that again? What? Why are we snapping back into place? I don't want you to snap into place, thank you. Don't do that. Stay. No snap. No! No snapping back into place. No! Once I'd gotten down, I couldn't get back up, and I tell you what, as a person who's done both, having a baby in your 30s is a whole different ballgame to having them in your 20s. Everything hurts. Managed to eventually get myself out of the corner I'd trapped myself in. And now it's time for the exciting stuff. I got this baby blanket in the sale at Mother Care and I thought the colours went so well with the colour theme of the room, and it's also nice and neutral. Then I thought I'd add a teddy that Charlie's mum gifted to Ike when he was a newborn. Don't worry, that won't stay in the crib all the time. And these Dream Egg white noise machines are an absolute lifesaver. Next it was time to stock the storage rack, so I put some of Ike's nappies in this little section. He only uses these for bedtime. And then baby's nappies are going in the shelf above. The shelves are a bit smaller than I was expecting, but never mind, we can make it work. In this little section I put some nappy creams. I bought 2 different kinds because I'm used to using the Burt's Bees ones, and nowhere sells it anymore, which made me very sad. But I did manage to find some lotion, skin oil and body wash. I just love the smell, it's so nostalgic to me. Reminds me of when both of my boys were babies. Then I got this little grooming set with baby nail clippers, a hairbrush, thermometer and toothbrush and all of that stuff. Popped in some Calpol just in case. Then I got a hacker. These are great for catching excess milk, some milk storage bags and some nursing pads. Because one of the most uncomfortable feelings as a new mum is having milk all over your top. Especially when you've just had a shower and got changed as well. And don't leave it either because you'll smell like cheese. I also added some little soft sponges and some nappy bags. And that's all stocked and ready. Happy with that. It feels so real now. And I promised earlier I'd show you what everything looked like all lit up and cosy at night. So here we go. As I said, the new paint colour really darkened the room, so these lights on the back of the bed will really help me see when I'm getting up for feeds in the middle of the night. And it's not too much either, it's still lovely and relaxing. That was what I was going for really, just a really calm space, at night anyway, and then something really cheerful and uplifting in the daytime. I know it's a colour that you're either going to love or hate, but I absolutely love it. As I said earlier, I left a space in the middle of our Happy Memories corkboard for baby's first ever photo. And here it is. Surprise! It's taken me a while to finish and post this video because we've just been completely absorbed in our new baby bubble. So I'd like to introduce Velma. We have a daughter and she's so chilled and peaceful. We're all absolutely over the moon and besotted with her. And I'll hopefully update you all on things very soon. But for now, I'm just soaking in this precious time and enjoying being a mum of 3.